What's up everybody, Demon back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing my trailer breakdown for Godzilla Monster Planet Trailer 2. We got a lot to cover here, so let's just jump right into it. So, starting out, our first portion of this trailer reveals the airport setting from the last trailer. This appears to be the transport where the Japanese are leaving Earth. Haruo is in his space gear along with everyone else. It looks like this is going to be standard issue space gear throughout the whole trailer. Also, notice when they get back on Earth later in the trailer, everyone is still wearing their helmets, meaning that the atmosphere has most likely become toxic as a result of Godzilla's atomic radiation. Godzilla in the distance really looks like shots from Godzilla 2014. I think this is intentional, as this movie appears to be the bridge between Godzilla 2014 and Shin Godzilla. It looks like what the people at Polygon Pictures are trying to do is bridge the gap between America and Japan. They're not doing a great job because the Americans are really upset that Godzilla has a new origins. Oh no, it's not like he always gets new origins. Even G14 gives him new origins. But people are upset. If you don't know Godzilla's origins, I'll quickly run through them. It is basically as follows. He originates from plant life. We don't know the specifics on that. And then he also has metallic properties. We don't know the specifics on that. He's being held together by an EMP, which he can emit. We know that. We also know that his atomic breath is also part of that EMP. That's it. That's all we know, but people just lose their mind about it. Notice the very interesting directing here during the 3D animation. It's almost like they're directing it the same way that Gareth Edwards directed Godzilla 2014, in which they do something where Gareth Edwards said he sets up the cameras as if it's a sports game, where he doesn't know he's always going to get the best shot. He just has to kind of set it there, hope for the best, and then go with it. And that kind of looks like what they're doing here, where it's almost like the camera guy is caught off guard by Godzilla in the distance. All the cars exploding here place that event from trailer 1 into this trailer, so now we know that takes place during this beginning scene. Haruo runs off with his parents as Godzilla roars in the distance. Now, one reason that everyone's running is because in a clip that was officially released in Japan but not America, Godzilla releases the atomic breath and shoots down a transport ship. This means that Godzilla is killing innocent people as they're trying to flee Earth, which is something really terrifying to think about.
必ず敵を取ると誓った。ここで引かず、怯えず、命を賭している時点で、もう俺たちは勝者だ。あとはただ終わらせるだけだ。22年の人類の悪夢と
Our next portion of this trailer reveals a huge armada on Earth. There's footage of Seldom attacking here, and also we know Godzilla attacks here later on. There's also some great Shin Godzilla parallels, as we have Haruo taking the Rando Yaguchi position when giving this speech to all his men. Like I said, Monster Planet appears to be trying to bridge the gap between the US and Japan, as we'll see later on when Godzilla appears. Notice the interesting music here that's almost like a Nintendo music that kind of sounds like it came right out of Super Smash Bros. The music in this movie is being done by Takayuki Hattori, who also did Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla and Godzilla 2000. Godzilla's reveal can be traced back to a continuation of the shot seen in the first 30-second teaser trailer. Looks like he's going to get up right here, and then we're going to get that great shot of everyone looking up at him as he stands in the distance. I guess it's not that distant after all, because he appears to be right in the action. Notice the very G14-esque foot and the super long tail. I think this is Polygon Pictures' way of paying homage to Godzilla 2014. There's a supreme sense of scale throughout this whole trailer, as we know Godzilla is the biggest Godzilla of all times, but it also goes back to that original fan art that I still think was concept art for the movie. In that, Godzilla was seen bigger than mountains, and it appears in this trailer, yeah, he looks bigger than mountains. Also, when we see Godzilla using the atomic breath, although he doesn't become transparent like he is in that original concept art, he does look very similar to it, the way his body glows and everything like that. So I think now we can kind of confirm that that was actually leaked concept art and not just fan art. Notice the beautiful animation here as we see a huge explosion in the distance. I love the way the fire and smoke roll off one another in the distance, and the light on Godzilla's fins shows a great attention to detail that's going to make this anime feel not like an anime and feel more like a movie and a big event. Now all of a sudden we have a huge tonal shift in the trailer as we get a sudden action burst. There's colorful explosives and lighting and fluid animation throughout this section, and the music is more in line with Hattori's ending theme for Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, which featured a female singer and was a lot more upbeat than the rest of the music in the movie. I don't know if this was actually his composing or not. It's called Whiteout, and it was made by Polygon Pictures, so I would assume so, as we know from this bottom caption here. I love the juxtaposition here between Godzilla's huge size and the small size of man, as man zips around him. It would appear that humans hold a huge speed advantage over Godzilla, as he can't seem to comprehend what's happening as he's being fired upon by these futuristic weapons. The atomic breath scene is very interesting as we see electric sparks all around Godzilla's body, as well as an EMP that deploys as he uses the atomic breath. Notice how the screen shakes as he uses the atomic breath, as if the EMP has hit the cameraman as well. Also notice the very thin, fine, short Shin Godzilla style beam coming out of Godzilla's mouth. It's blue just like the Godzilla 2014 atomic breath and all the Showa Godzillas and everything like that, which is again a reason why I think this movie is going to be bridging the gap between the US and Japan. Now we see this explosion from trailer 1, which I had a theory back then was Godzilla using his atomic breath on all the humans, and it would appear now that yes, that is indeed what's happening. Kuruo's fight with Adam is, as far as I can tell, over how to proceed with Godzilla and if they should leave Earth or not. All the tanks are seen firing on Godzilla as he's in a great valley, which just shows once again the massive size of Godzilla.
Godzilla, 怪獣惑星。滅びるのは人か、ゴジラか。
The Servum attack is interesting. We've also seen an extended version of that officially released by Toho in Japan. Now, during the Servum attack, they do deal great damage to the humans, and it looked like they're going to be the main sub-threat throughout the movie other than Godzilla. I also like the comparison here between Godzilla's eyes, the killer's eyes, versus Haruo's eyes, the victim's eyes. This amazing pan shot reveals the massive scale of Godzilla as well as his roar for the movie, which will be the Showa roar. All the trailers we've seen for this movie have featured that roar, which is what leads me to believe that's what it's going to be. The movie will come out on Friday, November 17th, 2017. That is in 6 days from when I'm recording this. Also, there will be a companion comic that comes out around the time of this movie called Godzilla Apocalypse. It's a tie-in comic about the events before Monster Planet, featuring many of Toho's kaiju. I did do some translating for what the dialogue throughout the trailer is stated as. Now, if my translations are correct, it is something around the lines of Haruo calling father and mother at the start of the trailer. One of them replies yes, and then someone screams something along the lines of run. Now Haruo states, I was robbed of my parents in front of me. I vowed to take enemies without failure. During his speech, he says, be sure to take it here as one. Here, assassinate this new life. And again, these aren't 100% direct translations. These are my approximations of what I can gather based off the Japanese that I know, as well as a little bit of assistance from some subtitles that were auto-generated, as well as just a little bit of context. It sounds to me like at one point someone says, a new world. I'll be the last man standing. I do believe that's Haruo. However, he also may have said, I did not win Zoho for the first time. This is the translation from the auto-generated subtitles, which doesn't sound like anything to me, because what is Zoho? What is he winning for the first time? I'm not totally sure. The first translations, I think, might be a little bit more accurate, of Haruo thinking he's going to be the last man standing, or at the very least, he's saying, I will fight, and even if I'm the last man standing. Someone says something along the lines of 22 years of the human race. I believe what this is referring to is the 22 years that it takes for humans to travel around the universe looking for someone to go, and then coming back to Earth, where on Earth it's been 20,000 years later. For them, it's only been 22 years later. Someone says something very interesting that I still can't make out. It might be, don't narrow down to the psychiatrist's truth, or don't narrow down to the spirit's truth. Something along those lines. What I believe this is referring to is the fact that Godzilla is just so crazy, it's Haruo saying, don't try and explain this. You can't explain Godzilla, don't try and reason with it, just go with it. You know he's here, let's now deal with that. As Godzilla uses the atomic breath, you can hear someone screaming Jesus in Japanese. Then during Haruo and Adam's fight, it sounds like Haruo says, was it today? Moreover, this biblical situation has come. So what I think this might mean is Haruo's like, how could you do this? Maybe they missed something. Was it today? Maybe they missed a transport or something. I'm not totally sure. But this biblical situation, or whatever it's referring to, sounds like them referring to Godzilla as the apocalypse. Then someone says, all during the regular period? I'm not sure. Like I said, my translations are not going to be direct. They might even be completely wrong, but at least I really tried. I spent a long time trying to translate it today. The last frame of this trailer is a single page that reads, Special Event, Godzilla Monster Planet, Special Metallic Clear File. This is a case that you can put your movie tickets in. I actually got one for Shin Godzilla back when I got my 4K for Shin Godzilla, although mine's not metallic. And then it also says common nationwide special advance tickets, popular sale now, only 1,400 yen, including tax, limited supply, first come, first serve. Then the text that appears throughout the trailer read, I was robbed of my parents in front of me. I vowed to take enemies without fail. With humanity, the biggest Godzilla in history, the fierce battle begins. And that is everything there is to know about the Godzilla Monster Planet trailer 2, at least from an English speaker's perspective. I hope I was able to point stuff out to you guys that you didn't know, and I hope this breakdown was worth it. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for the support on the channel recently, even though I've had some trouble getting uploads out recently. I really do appreciate it. So thanks guys, see you later. D-Man out.